like to welcome everyone to the meeting tonight. I appreciate all the staff being here. See you all. Friends. Maya. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the March 19 meeting. So moved. Do I have a second? Is there any corrections or discussion? None. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. We do not have anybody to speak. Okay, so we'll move on to the public comments. Under report of Board of Trustees Chair, I would like to thank Bill Hope for your presentation this afternoon, and also for the foundation sponsoring the reception at the Joy Bishop reception. It was very nice and very well attended for the dedication of the sculpture and the bridge, and it was just a really nice event. So we do appreciate you, foundation, sponsoring that. And I do not have any other reports except what Manny will probably report on next. So we'll just move on to Manny's report.
Okay, I want to start off by thanking our board chair for two items. The first one for her generous donation of eclipse glasses.
Which weren't used around.
I know, yeah.
They can be repurposed.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And then also last week, during National Library Week, supporting the staff and our volunteers, we had a ice cream truck in the back, and it was outstanding. We loved it. So thank you for doing that. And also thank you for Trustee Hill for his donation for the upcoming staff development day for the refreshments.
The expensive ice cream.
One of the things I'd like to highlight in youth services, the Knoxville Opera was here on a Saturday, and we had over 100 visitors or guests that attended the renditions of Cinderella, which was excellent. And then the Knoxville Symphony is going to be performing later this month. The date is actually located on the digital signage. I just don't know the date offhand, but there's a lot coming up for summer reading program. We're going to have our mini con again, which is going to occur the same week as the Friends book sale. So it's going to be very, very busy in here. And the Friends also, and maybe Dee will touch on this, we'll have a tent outside as well. We'll have food trucks. It's going to be great. We have Chocolate Walk on the 15th, which also includes now a climbing wall apparatus outside. So that should be interesting. We have Pirate Day again. And they have some really great ideas and programs in store for this upcoming summer reading. So looking forward to that. Okay, so I want to go over to adult services. I also want to highlight some of their upcoming programs. This Thursday is the continuation of our Sounds of Spring concerts. Lost Mill String Band will be here on the 18th, and then Willow and Jesse will be on the 25th. Our ever popular Focus on Seeing program will be on April 23rd, and this month, Wills, Trusts, and Powers of Attorney. I think that will be very well attended. We also have a program, a Homeschool 101 program upcoming on April 30th. I do want to recognize Melinda Russ. Next month will be the Blount County Employee Appreciation luncheon, and Melinda will be honored as serving 40 years working at the library. So I'll be there, and Kathleen will be there to show our support to Melinda doing that. Our Appalachian Lecture Series continues on May the 6th. We have Food Traditions of Southern Appalachia with, is it Amy Campbell? Amy Campbell. which we're looking forward to. Another Grace Notes Flute concert on May 9th. And I'll stop there and we'll go to another topic. Over in the cafe, this month's drink is 100-acre latte, which is honey and lavender with Thunderhead espresso and milk.
Let's get one of those that were closed.
And we hired a new part-timer for our cafe. She began today, Tisha Chauncey. So welcome aboard, Tisha. We had, and this is something with our staff advocates, we're trying to get staff involved in extracurricular activities. So we just had our first one where we all went to, majority of the staff attended Creative Spark Studios. And Anjane, you painted.
Oh, stemless wine glasses, and I went back and made fab where you can work with fuse, or you can, I don't know what, it's glass work and you can get it fused. And it was lots of fun. I went back the next day.
Yeah,
So
and Summer, did you do the glass?
I did the glass
Yeah.
fusing also, it was a lot of fun.
So it was great. So next month, we're going to a Smokies baseball game. Good luck. Over in patron services, we've been inundated with an army of plants everywhere, so the good people in patron services have kind of created a display of plants, so when you walk in, you can see it on the right-hand side. It looks absolutely lovely. Thank you for everyone involved in that. We have our statistics that Rebecca added in the report there. I had in my report, I do want to thank Bill again. It was so wonderful that evening to honor Joy Bishop. And I want to thank everyone at the foundation. Also Dee, representing the Friends, was there. And then also Stephanie and Andy were there. And then also Rebecca for lending me a hand. I needed it that night because there were a lot of people there. So thank you for staying till 8:30, 9 o'clock, helping out. So thank you for that. Stephanie and I in summer met with the Blount County Parks and Rec to go over the Sports Hall of Fame. And I know that's something that we've been thinking about when it comes to our long-range plan and our vision. Currently, the Sports Hall of Fame is kind of just tucked away in a corner. So we're looking, some of our ideas is to have an actual Sports Hall of Fame down in the basement somewhere that patrons can go and see it. So we'll continue with that. I spoke at a young adult literature class at Maryville College last month to go over some of the challenges public libraries are facing, whether it be financially or book challenges or AI. It was a fantastic class. They had a lot of great questions, so that was terrific. And then a whole slew of us, Rebecca and Anjane and Summer, Beth Hall, Savannah Carter, AJ, and myself, we attended the annual Tennessee Library Association conference over in Franklin a couple of weeks ago. It was great, and AI was one of the hot topics this time. Last year was book challenges seemed to be the leader, but now there were a lot of AI specific sessions. Seemed like this year overpowered book challenges, so. The budget was presented on April the 5th. There were 5 minutes up there presenting the budget. I think they were very pleased with our budget. Didn't ask for anything out of the ordinary, so I think they were very happy with this upcoming fiscal year. And Anjane can speak on this as well. This next bullet point I have about the hush part. Anjane attended a Kiwanis meeting regarding the hush part, but then also the storybook walk. I know both came in. So Robert's waiting to hear back from the Alcoa Kiwanis board, if they would like to support a hush pod. If not, I know Robert has reached out to the friends as well. And what a hush pod is, right now, we do not have any study space that the walls don't go to the ceiling, so there's not really a quiet study area. So these little pods would seat 4, and it would be enclosed. And it would be for patrons to go and actually study and have a quiet study area. They're popping up in various libraries. They look really, really cool and futuristic, so.
It would also be. It's also very helpful because, believe it or not, lawyers like to have dispositions here. And when they don't want to rent a room for it. And so that means if you're sitting outside a study room, you might be hearing a little bit more than, so this will be one service that'll be available for that.
I thought a library was supposed to be quiet when I was a kid.
Those days are gone.
I know.
Libraries. And it's funny that you bring that up, because I just was talking to a bunch of libraries that evolve and adapt. When it comes to AI, we evolve and we adapt with AI. So, yeah, those days of the quiet, the shh, those are.
And even ambient noise is just louder than it used to be.
Yeah.
Or at least it seems that way.
So let me ask this, what is a hush pod made of? Because my teacher brain is thinking,
So here's the thing, so you can see inside of it.
okay, that's.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because I'm like, It is-
I'm a teacher, that's just. where my mind
it's got its own fire suppression. There was a video that Manny got the vendor to show us where the gentleman has a boom box. For you that are my generation, you'll know what that is. A boom box playing, and he walks in and it's muffled. So it is not soundproof, but it's severe or intense sound dampening. If you're having a conversation, you're not gonna hear it. If you're a study group, you don't have to worry about your voices carrying. And then if you're a lawyer having a disposition, no one's gonna hear what you have to say. It's mobile. So it's on caster wheels and it takes 2 people to move it. What is it? It just because libraries have adapted and are adjusting with the times. Yes, some of its users want a quiet space, and this allows us to give them that kind of throwback when it was a shh. This is a space where if they want to sit there and hear nothing but themselves breathe, they can do that.
Can I have one of those for my classroom?
Talk to Bill, fundraiser.
Bill, we need one of those for my classroom.
This one 4, I just sent it to the board email, a picture of the hush pod, 4 people. 4 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
$28,000 to $30,000.
How many do you want to deploy?
What's this now?
Any idea how many that you guys want to deploy?
At this stage 1.
Yeah, and if it's successful, because what I'd like to do, again, this is down the line, is look at our community and see if there's other venues in Blount County that would like to have these hush pods. Maybe at the MLK Center could be one, and maybe down in Townsend could be another one for.
For this building, I mean, the question that comes up in my mind is that a good value for dollar versus doing something like figuring out a way to finally enclose the current study rooms?
Exactly.
Or do we need to knock the study rooms down so that we have space for multiple of these pods?
This is a easier and swifter solution. I think if we're looking at increasing it's not gonna be done, it's gonna take time. And just learning about this book return and how things go in municipal government, it's definitely not overnight.
And and just wanting to go back during the interim, when Andy and I were looking at study rooms, we can put up a wall, but then we have to redo elements of the HVAC intake and then the venting and then the sprinkler and then, so it is significantly cheaper than all that. what is it? It does sound like a lot. But you know, the Arconic grant, if it's successful, will pay for 25. Well, actually, no, the Arconic grant could go up, to
Yeah.
pay for the whole thing. And so it is, you know, as long as it gets its use, it can very much be.
Do you rent it? Do you
No, we
rent
don't
the space?
rent.
No.
I think we're gonna, I don't think any rental isn't, but Kathleen is here. Kathleen, you could speak on this. You have had patrons go up to you or to your desk saying, where is there a quiet study
I
area?
actually had that today. Someone came up to me and said he had reserved one of the study rooms for interviews, and they got here and said, oh, no, it's not confidential. And he ended up going outside to our tables out there, but he specifically needed it to be, he was doing something government-wise, and he needed it to be very confidential. And that people are aware of it, but they need it.
I see the need of it, and when I was traveling through Florida, we stopped at I can't remember, a random downtown, and I was able to go rent a quiet room, reserve it, not rent it, reserve a specific time, which I would highly recommend you guys looking into, so folks can have a guaranteed time that they know, hey, I have interviews from 3 to 5, I can reserve it, 3 to 5. I put my license down as collateral, they gave it back. I'm a little concerned about, okay, this is quicker, could be cheaper, yes. But have we received a quote on enclosing the current workspaces?
No, that's.
And do you remember what was, so we were talking, when we had the 6 projects on the go. What is it, that, I wanna say, you could talk to Chris from C2RL, and were you part of that conversation?
You have to get architectural drawings, here's the scenario, you have the drawings stamped, have to do the framing, you have to get reviewed by the city of Maryville.
Okay.
You have to go out to bid through the county purchasing departments, you're talking 6-8 months minimum to get.
I know the months are fine, I think. I'm talking purely like us spending money on buying
I don't know how
pods.
high it is, but you could probably do framing, acoustical ceiling, and more insulation.
You have to go to the ceiling.
And one of the things, we're not spending any money on this. This is through a grant.
Yeah, this is all grant.
This is all grant.
Grant, that's
Well,
one
you
thing.
guys mentioned one, and then multiple in the future as well.
But how does
We're
this
thinking
thing get
sponsorship.
aired?
Okay.
How does this thing get aired? You close all the doors and they're stuck in
Probably
there?
like the.
Yeah, there's an
pod.
apparatus on
There's
top.
I guess,
Can we use it as interchangeably?
It doesn't have windows in it, the nurse.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it will say in the letter.
also right off the bat is one, I'd like to make sure the security considerations are there in terms of camera coverage, just like the nursing model. And then 2, it seems to keep coming up as a thing, and it seems like our study rooms are not adequate.
Yeah.
Like, do we need to reevaluate those? Are they useful in this building? Do we need to turn them into something else?
Absolutely not.
Okay, okay.
Kathleen is here, we have those study rooms booked to the point where we have to turn people away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
No.
are there like cheaper solutions, pot aside, that we can accommodate people better in the study rooms? Can we put up some sound panels that hang lower, put white noise machines? Are there things that we can do?
I mean, in our office, we have a white noise thing that sounds like rain falling. You can't hear a conversation outside the door. Just masks everything.
The only difficulty that I can see with that is if you have a machine like that, if you're having interviews, how much is that gonna interrupt the folks that are involved in that? I see where that would be a good solution.
I'd be happy to donate some if people want to be able to use them for meetings, that are like, are there sound panel mechanisms?
So I think with we years ago, probably pre-COVID, when we were still looking at Chris Sorrell was helping with the project with the long range planning. We identified panels that would hang down
Yeah.
and they would be sound absorbers.
Right.
But they would not offer the the same level of sound dampening that this hush pod
Sure.
would. Now, in saying that, so say we decide we get one, maybe two. With what we've got, our existing meeting rooms, many people, once they've been here and they know it's more like collaborative space. They also know that there are quiet areas around. So having one or two pods might be all that we need for those in our community who are just like, I would like it to be as quiet as a cave.
I think from my perspective, I'd be a little uncomfortable trying to accommodate somebody that's trying to communicate in a secure or confidential way. This is a public building. I don't know that we're capable of actually providing that, like on demand, or should we provide that on demand? If someone needs to communicate in a classified way, so to speak, they probably should they be in a library at all? Like, do we want to go in that direction with the spaces?
We do with our computers.
With the computers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's up to them, it's up to the patron.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my old library had the quiet study room.
Mhm.
And the reason why I wanted to go with the hush pod, I was looking at the Danbury Public Library in Connecticut, who's very innovative and very forward thinking. They have the same situation as us. They actually have 5 hush pods and you can reserve them online on the website. So it's been very effective. And that's how I was able to get a hold of the sales rep.
Does it have the same kind of maintenance and insurance as like the nursing pod and warranty?
There's warranties to it, yeah.
Is there an air conditioning system and a heating system in it?
There is air that flows through, yes.
If it's like the nursing pod, it's a little warm
Is it?
sometimes, but it flows.
Cozy, yes.
Cozy.
And then I just want to also point out the Anjane met with Alcoa Kiwanis and I met with Maryville Rotary regarding the storybook walk. So we're just waiting to hear back when it comes to that. So,
Before you do, can we go back to the pod?
Yeah.
Is there a recommendation and is it gonna need to address this from a formal standpoint of let's do it or not do it? Because basically you're saying that Arconic will probably grant this, the
Yeah.
grant so it costs no money. So the idea, does the board want to move forward with this based on the conversation that we had? And if so, do we need a recommendation or motion?
We need to see, I think we need to see about the grant prior to moving forward. I think we might, until we know that that's there.
yeah, we're still waiting to hear. So Robert McClellan wrote the grant. We're just waiting to hear if it's been accepted. So
So is
accepted the
it,
concept, yeah,
So if the grant is accepted,
yeah, the concept.
if the grant is accepted and we vote not to have it,
We don't take money.
Yeah, we just leave the money on the table.
do we say this is a great idea, with the proviso that it has to come through a grant? And it's supposed to, I'm just trying to understand what's the best process to go.
And
Personally,
if the board does not want
Yeah.
this, then we don't want you wasting your time
Right.
writing a grant either.
And well, yeah, I'm not writing the grant, and it's 2 steps. So right now, it's just the concept paper. That has to get approved first. And if that gets approved, then Robert has to write another document with further detail on why this would be beneficial to the library.
So you're telling the board that you're pursuing this, but you'll
Yeah.
come back to us with a solid position that then we're going to.
I can give you an update next month, and I could even have Robert here.
one more question, when you guys look at placing it with the camera coverage, is that happening where existing cameras already are, or we're
Yes.
gonna have to incur more
Yep.
costs?
It'll
Cameras.
probably be line of sight from a staff, so that staff can see into it.
Plus cameras.
And then,
Plus-
yeah, there's a camera there too, yeah.
How much space does it take up and can the library give up that space? I'm
Oh,
assuming
yeah.
you already
Yeah.
know where you have an idea of where it's gonna go.
As far as the length, it's like 9.5 feet.
The ones I've seen are, what they remind me of is a kind of almost like a hotel elevator.
It's a phone booth concept.
Yeah,
They do have
it's large, it's larger than a phone booth,
Yeah.
but it's not, I mean, but it's basically enough for a table, 4 chairs.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, so it's not one that you're gonna have tons of people congregating in and doing that.
Can we consider too a policy, when we get down the road, this moves to next steps, I mean, I think you're not gonna be allowed to nap in it, things like that.
Yeah,
That should already be covered.
Yeah.
With existing policy.
So we'll just have to update our other policies, the pod.
Well, right now, it's like with the napping, you can't nap anywhere in the library. So once we know you're napping, that's when we're like, do we need to call anyone for you? You know?
Just briefly, just to give an update on the book return project. We've done our part, now it's over at the purchasing agent right now. He is going through the process of put it out to bid. So, and you should have all received the new renderings, which included the relocation of the door.
Manny, I have a question on the Tetra truck climbing thing. Do we take out event insurance for that, or are they required to have their own insurance? The kid climbing on the wall, like, struck me.
So that's already gone through Don Stallion's and risk management, and that's it. They do have their own insurance.
They have their own,
Yes.
okay.
Maybe did you ask about the doors?
What's-
The wooden doors?
I did, yes, and it will be glass doors. I know it said wooden doors. Yeah, it will be glass, yeah. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to report of foundation board. Bill?
Thank you for letting me talk today. Wish I would have known about that no napping policy prior to. Helpful to lead with that. The Joy Bishop thing was great. I think there was probably 3 days worth of food afterwards, so I think we had plenty. That the caterer was fantastic, so I think that worked out well. Our board last meeting went on a tour. Manny took us on a tour of the library. We have a couple of new members that hadn't seen some of the stuff that the foundation has funded. So we kind of went around and looked at some of those projects as well as the downstairs to see the possibilities are for the future. So this week, our meeting is this Friday. So what we'll go over is some of the stuff that we presented today, along with some of the trying to get a schedule for fundraising training going forward for that group of people. Some of the new people are younger and I think have been part of campaigning or fundraising previously. So we want to make sure that they're all prepped and ready to go. And I think that's it.
Report of Friends of the Library, Dee Barr.
All right, so following last month's trustees meeting, the board for the Friends did approve the lactation pod. That is moving forward and will be delivered in May.
April 30th.
It was on the paper today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So we have our 50th anniversary kickoff this Friday. It starts with the decorations that are up and we'll be putting some more things up. And it's a self-guided scavenger hunt with some prizes. And we also will be having a celebration toast at 2:00 on Friday afternoon. Our website is currently being updated to reflect the history as well as the upcoming events for the anniversary. The eBay is marching along. We had our second highest March ever with $12,750. So we're still rolling along, and April is on track for another record as well. We're always in preparation mode for the next sale for June. Realizing that with MiniCon happening at the same time, we're going to need additional volunteers as well as the celebration on the lawn. So there's some arm twisting going on downstairs, mostly by me. We will be here for the concert on Thursday night with a membership table to solicit some new members, and hopefully hit the concert goers. And we will have a membership table also on Friday during the celebration. Other than that, we're going to have some special displays for MiniCon. During the sale, we're going to highlight our sci-fi and fiction and the fantasy books, graphic novels, comics, all the stuff that's donated to us will be highlighted for the MiniCon customers that will wander downstairs to take pictures and things. Other than that, things are moving along swimmingly. I will be gone next week, cruising around England and Greece.
Yes, Stephanie. One thing I forgot to say that the board, the foundation had approved the book return materials. I don't think they included labor, but approved the construction of the book returns.
Thank you, report of the Coley River Regional Library, Liz, sure.
Hello. So I passed out several different training certificates for folks for attending lots of things, including trustees, trustee workshop, the space planning workshop. I think there were 3 staff that also completed their core competencies, which is really great. That's 28 modules that staff go in and complete for part of their continuing admission credit, which is a requirement for being a part of the regional system. So we require everybody at every tier that is employed and paid by the library to receive some kind of professional development. So thank you all for doing that. Some other opportunities to receive credit for training, not this one. The virtual partnership fair is Thursday. I'm on that committee, so we're really proud to present this for the 3rd year in a row, where we reach out and bring other organizations from across the state and have them come and speak about their organization and hopefully how they can partner with public libraries, whether that's presenting programs for the libraries or just something as simple as providing the libraries with informational packets for folks to come in. Libraries are trusted resource centers, as they should be, and so we would like to make those connections for our public libraries and organizations. So we have about 12 that will be here virtually on Thursday for the workshop. Don't get CE credit for that, sorry. That is not direct instruction. You know, Laurie Thompson, our CE coordinator, is very particular about you get direct instruction for your CE hours. But you can receive CE hours May 14th. Caitlin Haley, Assistant Director of River Regional Library, will be presenting on social media and marketing. And so we're very excited to have her coming on that on May 14th. You all are going through your board list reviews. Manny mentioned National Library Week occurred this month. We are reminding all of our libraries again, the 3rd quarter reports for April is due to Nikki on the 12th. If you need more time, just let her know. One thing I failed to put in here, and I want to make sure you know about, is the TOP grant, which is training opportunities for the public. That is a grant that we partner with the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development to provide for our libraries. And I believe this is the 4th year we've done it. Through this grant, our libraries have a minimal match. It's a very small match, not like the 50-50 tech grant. I think it's 20% max. match for top grant. You have no match for instruction. So all of our libraries can receive money to pay instructors to come in and provide classes on varying subjects to the public for that. But it also allows our libraries to pursue hotspots and also some internal connections as well. You all might know that is Category 2 E-rate. Some of those are available as well through that grant. So we're pleased to do that. And the deadline for that is April 30th. So I forgot to put that on to make sure you got that. Otherwise, the reads numbers look really good this month. We had quite a jump regionally, about 7,000, and you all had quite a big jump as well. And I'm going to attribute that to the fact that I hope everyone's reading on spring break. That's all I have.
Thank you, Liz. Are there any committee updates or any information? Any here? Moving on to nominating committee, is there an update on that, or do you want me to?
We're probably gonna plan a meeting for the next trustee meeting.
Okay, very good, thank you.
I have family, child number 2, so I didn't have time to.
I can imagine.
And when?
She was born on Good Friday,
Oh,
so Evangeline Louise.
awesome. Congratulations. Okay, any office space discussion? We have certain guests.
Sure, yeah. I'd like to introduce Mandy Profit from A Place to Stay and Amanda Small from Be Aware Blount. So, both, contracts are set to expire on June 30th. Would like to make separate announcements.
So I'm Amanda Small, I'm the director of Be Aware Blount. We are the Substance Misuse Prevention Coalition for Blount County. First, I would just really like to say that we so appreciate having the space that we've had for the past 2 years. It has really been a godsend as I was getting into this position and learning my way, and to have the social support and all of that here. We are currently actively looking for a space, but we do not have a space yet. So my hope is that if that takes us past July 1, that there might be flexibility with until we can get that secured.
Yeah.
So Mandy Profit, I'm the executive director for A Place to Stay. Again, I'm going to echo most of what she said and say from my board and staff to yours, thank you so much for allowing us space, support. It's been amazing. We have identified a space. We simply outgrown for some of the reasons that was spoken here tonight. But we're going to be moving up to St. Andrews with some of our partners so we can better collaborate. We're very excited. We hope to continue that partnership with the staff, send them up our way. So again, we just want to say thank you very much for all the support that you've allowed us, given us space, worked with us, been through a lot. So yeah, again, from my staff and my board, we appreciate that. And so we will be transitioning out the 1st of May with ending at the end of May, beginning full-time services at St. Andrews on June 1st. Thank you again.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Appreciate both of you.
Okay, question. Since moving out, how will you be collaborating with the library to deal with some of the issues and situations that you guys were in sight dealing with?
Are we going to be collaborating?
I mean, since you guys are moving, the problem's not gonna go away.
No, it's not.
So-
The problem was here before we came.
I understand that, so, and you guys came here to help us or help deal with the problems, and you did, in my opinion, a very outstanding job. Now that you leave, how does this problem get ameliorated? If no one's here to help?
So I would hope that we've built some pretty strong relationships here. And folks know where to find us. We can, we have phone numbers, they can reach out and say, hey, some of the folks that come here, and many of the folks that we've been seeing, end up at Good Neighbors or Salvation Army anyway. So we still have that relationship that continues to exist. I know that there are folks that are still on foot. They may get up to New Providence for food. So I would just say that that relationship continues. And again, with the relationship with staff here, who've been amazing, honestly. I think that will go on. Does that answer your question? Perfectly, no, it's not perfect. But again, there's still a lot of things that we have to work out, especially with the folks that are quite literally unhoused, chronically unhoused. There's just a lot of work to do. We do have some things in the pipeline, permanent supportive housing. We've got a grant through HUD that's going to allow us a little bit of help, right? But I think now we've been able to identify a lot of community partners where the gap now is still lack of housing. So I think that's where our focus is right now, on bringing brick and mortar to a place to stay.
I personally want to thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Because I think that, you've done a definite service for the community and for the library. So
I sure
and we wish
appreciate
you
that.
success in your.
Thank you. I sure appreciate that.
Any questions? Or anything else we want to talk about?
I would just say regarding Amanda, absolutely, no one's gonna be changing the locks on July 1st. Yeah, don't worry.
We'll just need to renew that contract on a month-to-month basis. We'll need to vote on that, I guess, sometime in May, maybe the next meeting, so that we can renew their contract on a month-to-month basis until they find a place to go to. That's what y'all want to.
For at least extended.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Any other?
I do,
A motion, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a motion. Do we want to do that now?
I make a motion to extend not a place to stay, Be Aware Bloods contract to on a month-to-month basis, beginning June 1.
It would actually be July 1.
July 1?
Yes,
Okay,
July. Second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? We won't kick you out. Any other areas, groups that we need to talk about, or those as far as the study rooms and all that's it, okay. Office space. Old business, trustee information sheet. We talked about this last month, and do I have a motion that we approve this information sheet? Well, and then have discussion.
I make a motion.
Okay. Second. Okay. Discussion. Any corrections or anything that we need to change?
On the third paragraph, if you are interested in the position, I would propose that we delete and increase your chances of being selected. This is not.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole sentence.
Now, just the and increase your chances of being selected. I would stop at process.
Which that led me to question number 6. Is that, and the question is, what do you feel are the responsibilities and goals of the Board of Trustees? Those are very clearly stated on what our by law. The question seemed a little fluff to me, I don't know, maybe it's just me, just,
You need that question.
yeah, I would
Eliminate that question.
eliminate that question,
Number 6, so just
yeah.
eliminate number 6.
And then, second, we talked about requiring them to submit their resume, I didn't see that
Right, exactly.
added.
I think that person does. Supply.
Yeah, and I think they have to submit it for commission to be voted on anyway, but it would be nice to be part of this packet.
Yeah.
In the second paragraph, the BOT is a group of 9 members appointed by either Blount County Commission. Do we need to, it just says Blount County.
Yeah.
Do we need to put Blount County Commissioners? City
Why
of
could you
Maryville?
not just put, because it's all government, right?
Governments.
The government's
The governments,
all the Blount County,
Okay.
Maryville, and
Yeah,
Alcoa, because it's all government bodies, right? Should it be and not or?
The governing bodies of Blount County, City of Maryville, or City of Alcoa.
Or
I would
and,
capitalize
not
city.
or.
Probably and, because that, if it says or, that almost seems like it
And
doesn't
it's all,
include.
And on page 5, under number 6, we're eliminating number 6, but it says by submitting this application. I think we need information there and then down below there as well. Both places it says application should be just information.
And I think if we want to take out, when we take out number 6, just maybe have a place for submission of resume or CV.
Match of resume.
Can we bring this back again?
Do we want to vote on this next month after these changes are made? You think, since there's so many?
I think so.
Okay, who made the motion?
I did. I can
Withdraw,
yeah.
Okay, so the motion's been withdrawn and we'll vote on this next month. Okay, very good. New business borrowing privileges policy. Do I have, no, we're not voting on this. Do we just need, any suggestions or corrections?
I just have a question. We know when books are checked out, we know if they're from the adult section versus the kid section, right? And then we know by their card whether they're mine. I guess the question is, if someone wants to buy cigarettes or beer or magazines, and don't they get carded, they have to be 18. And the supplier has to card them. And while I know we don't necessarily want to be in the policing business, the library, like juniors, kids can check out anything. We're not gonna police it. And I just kind of question, everywhere else in society does that. We haven't, it didn't change in the procedure, but is that an area where?
So the library card is what provides the access, and we don't police the library card, and it's the parent who says, okay, I'm gonna put this card that gives them full access. If they don't want their child to have a card, then the parent can have their card and check out things for the child, and then they know. And that's what it is, the card is access,
Just to clarify, there's no differentiation between a juvenile card and an adult card.
No.
As far as access goes.
I'm just asking the question, as society in general, if they want to buy cigarettes, beer, girly magazines, they they have to show it on you, so I'm just asking.
But in order to get a juvenile card, parent has to sign off on it. I mean, so it's almost one where if a parent gives junior a fake ID.
And I don't think it's an issue probably, but before it becomes an issue, is it something? And I agree, I see your point, and that's fine, I just wanna bring it up.
No, I agree with you. I think they concern me that.
Is there,
Is there a way to control
Yeah.
a child?
So here's the thing.
A 7-year-old that has a library card can walk into the adult section and check out any book they
The
want.
parents with them.
A 7-year-old should be with their parent.
Right.
And that's part of
Yeah,
policy.
but 12 or 13 or 15.
Our
It
policy
does.
does say that.
Our policies go.
Any child under the age of 12,
Mhm.
parent, that has to be with the parent.
And then any child who is under 17, the parent has to be on the premises. And it's the familial choice. We don't want to get in the way of the choices that a family makes because every family is different. Once we start trying to police, then it actually makes it harder.
And I hear you and I understand all that.
Right.
But they can't go buy cigarettes or beer or girly magazines or whatever they.
But we don't,
So I guess.
we don't have those things.
Right, and but it's also one where, once they're 12, 13, 14 years old, they're getting on Netflix and they're watching, whatever, I mean, so this is one of those
Yeah.
things
And
where
they're vaping and they're,
it's.
No, but I just don't want
And
to be
then-
contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
So Anjana, I think the question is, and it may be a valid question, where it's not shown in this policy that a minor should be accompanied by an adult. Where is that? That's in a different policy.
That is in a different
So
policy.
can we reference it in this policy? I don't know. Would that provide some comfort?
I don't.
Yes.
I don't want to make a big deal, I just.
So
Just
I
want to
do.
present
I
it.
agree.
But now, page 4, it does have parent guardian responsibility.
Yeah, could we,
I mean, we
native?
could add something there, potentially, if we want to add another sentence that says something along the line, that.
So just to here, it says here, the parent, guardian, or responsible party signing the application for a minor child is then held responsible for all materials checked out. So if mommy's not aware that Jimmy is checking out shades of gray, then mommy's not paying attention to what, it's not the library's, that's not our purview. We can't say, hold on, Timmy's mom.
Yeah.
And
You know.
to clarify, the parent has to sign an explicit statement to that effect.
When they sign the back of their card, so they carry that card with them. Once you sign that card, that's what you're saying you're agreeing to.
But we do in what is the name of the policy that we have, that they have to be accompanied by an adult? Is it like the library policy?
I think it's in is it our rules of conduct? I think it's in rules of conduct, children's use of the library, and it might be somewhere else.
I think it is,
And
yeah.
I think it's something that we maybe discussed like in
We did.
November or December,
We
something
did.
like that. So back in the late fall or early winter, I remember that we had talked about.
The same
that.
discussion was like, you can't be an adult in the children's section without.
That's exactly right.
So it is
I
private
think
policy.
I think library code of conduct maybe was what we
Yes.
referenced it as.
Yes.
Rules of
Rules
conduct.
of conduct.
Okay.
So do we need to refer to
I would
that
like to see that in
in
there.
this section?
Yeah, and I think that probably would be something along the lines of any. Wouldn't be good at figuring out, but something along the lines of all use of library cards and the borrowing privileges are subject to the BCPL rules of conduct. That's probably, and then maybe as, so I think there's also something when you do the application that references back to it as well.
So our rules of conduct say that the child has to be in the proximity of the parent. When a parent, and Rebecca, correct me if I misstate this, but
when someone is going to get a library card, at that stage, they're told, when you get this library card, this means that you're responsible for everything that takes place on that card. If you damage it, lose it, etc. If somebody else finds your card and you haven't reported it stolen or missing, then you're responsible for the activity that takes place on it. When a child is getting a card, we say to them, when you give your child this card, they have access to the entire collection. We will not police it. That is a family decision. We don't have that in policy because it's more of, and Liz, correct me if I'm wrong, that's more of a best practice than a policy kind of statement.
You mean having it written in?
Yeah, because we don't want to tell people how to parent it. We're just, we don't.
And if you wanna, I mean, some people opt to have a statement on their application, the application card, y'all may have that, I don't know, because I don't have. But you're also, it seems like you're stating that in this policy too, by saying that parents and guardians are required, like for this policy, but if you wanna reference the other policy.
I tend to think that caution is,
The
caution
paper
maybe the watchword here, because
What does it hurt,
because I think that there's some people, I know that at least in criminal law, people are always trying to find that one loophole that's, aha. You didn't say that I couldn't steal something that's worth $1,001. It says up to $1,000, and then, so.
No, I guess I don't see a downside to it.
Well, my only hesitation is making sure it addresses the issue we're discussing.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So.
I think if you add that too.
Any other suggestions on this policy?
Summer's gonna update.
Which I can't do.
Summer's gonna update with the policy and.
I'll read it out, that's fine. I like that the policy's got a lot of deletions in it. It's shorter.
Yeah.
So that's concise, we've got everything. Okay, we'll move on to the last item, circulation of library materials policy. And again, well, this is the first reading of this policy. Suggestions or comments on this policy? I found one little thing. On the left, page 4, just a word. There's an N that needs to be deleted. Fines should be paid at the circulation desk upon return of the item, accumulation of fines over $4.99. So there was an extra little word there. That's all.
Okay, I'm struggling on something, and it may just be me, and I may just be tired, but use of a library card. Under the red and under that first black struck juvenile library cards holders. I think that S needs to be gone. Juvenile library card holders, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mandy, do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just me that I'm tired.
It's
Okay. And I know that's nitpicky, but.
I had one also, and I am not the grammar police whatsoever. I will just tell you, true confession. Page 2, where it says library materials are checked out based on the chart. The third sentence is said, if desired, patrons may manually renew. I think there needs to be a comma after if desired.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, patrons.
This is library.
Doesn't matter names.
Yeah.
Grammar really has fixed that for me.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's working our common.
After if desired.
Or if desired.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else on this policy? Okay, important dates. Our next meeting will be May 21st, 2024 at 5:30.
And I do have to, I'll be in Baltimore at a conference.
be out of town.
I'll be out.
Okay, so do we need to change the meeting to the week before? Let's see, that'll be 3 people. Still have a quorum. 6. But to you all, we can change the meeting or we can just go.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm free on that week before. That's what I was looking to see.
The 14th is, the 14th I'm good, 28th I'm good, it's just that 21st is bad.
Me too.
14th. Is everybody good on the 14th? It'll be just be 3 weeks. That's okay. Okay, so we'll change next month's meeting to the 14th at 5:30.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and you can see the rest of the other important meetings for the county commission and friends and foundation meets Friday, Bill, I think at 8. Okay. Okay, do we have any more discussion or any other questions? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, Greg.